Ace Young and live in Sheridan, Wyoming these days. Used to work at KMET, started there in 1972 and was there for about 14 years, and during which Paraquat Kelly was an important part of the radio station. I was news director, hired Pat to do sports, and Pat started doing sports but branched out from there and just went crazy, which of course we wanted him to do and which he was so good at doing. And I think the great thing about Pat is we would do a story in the morning, he would do it in the afternoon, Jim Ladd would do it at night, and before you know it, we had some camaraderie built, and that's how the story like Paraquat happened. That's how Pat got his name, because of the Paraquat story. And that culminated, as a matter of fact, with the delivery of 2 million scams petitions, Southern Californians Against Marijuana Spraying, Paraquat spraying, that I delivered to Jimmy Carter at the White House. But it wouldn't have happened without Pat in the afternoon, without Jim Ladd in the evening. So like I say, it all worked together, and that's how Pat got his name.
Take us back behind the scenes of a station like KMET back in that era. Just the magic, of DJs being able to, program their shows, discover and introduce new artists and music to the public. Yeah. Just the, innovation, the one with the audience back then.
Well, I knew we had something going when our competition, for example, was doing ABC Network News on the hour, and they hired us to talk about whatever we wanted to do. So, of course, that's easy to counter-program. One of the first things we did was put a surf report on the air. Some kid, a 15-year-old kid in the valley had no idea what was happening at the Point Break in Zuma or Malibu, or for that matter, with our 58,000-watt signal from Santa Barbara to San Diego. Or actually from Jalama in Central California, the K35, almost all the way to Ensenada. So surf reports, taking a stand on Paraquat with the 2 million signatures that we gathered, again, all over Southern California. Another one would have been stopping the nuclear, Diablo Canyon nuclear power plant in San Luis Obispo. That was the new power plant that was going to go online. We got David Crosby to do no nukes. So we took a stand. We did it because we knew that corporate ABC, for example, wouldn't do it. So go for the gusto. And Greenpeace, saving the whales, you name it, And just fun stuff, too. I remember the very last day that they allowed nude bathing at Venice Beach. And, of course, I had to go down there with my microphone bare-ass nude, Just fun stuff. And it would be nice if that stuff were to come back, but I kind of get the feeling it's not going to.
Yeah, some way, shape, and form. Hopefully it'll come back in some type of platform.
But I do want to mention that tonight's all about Pat, all about Paraquat, and the incredible support that we're seeing for him tonight. And he is so much about what KMET is all about. I told you about news stories, but he just took it one step further. I asked him to do a story one time about the Hollywood Bowl. There was, and I can't remember what the concert was, but he came back and he did a story from the Hollywood Bowling Alley. So just fun stuff like that.
My name is Burton L. Wildebeest. At least that's what Paraquat always called me on the air, and I just can't get rid of that name no matter how hard I ever try. But I have some wild turkey, and Burton drinks wild all the time.
Well, we are celebrating the mighty Matt.
We are indeed.
Amazing.
I can't tell you how many times in my life I've said that. Hoo-ya, to-ya. Ooh.
Well, tell us how you ended up with this crazy cast of characters.
Well, it's funny because most people in radio drift from format to format. You do the hits, the top 40 hits, you do the whatever you do, just to get to the big time. And when I first went to KMET, I'd come from pretty straight-laced radio stations, and I thought, what have I gotten myself into here? Holy mackerel, this is like nothing I've ever experienced in my life.
The insane asylum.
A couple of parties, I fit right in. Yeah. No problem whatsoever, and everything was good. Throughout the books, they were all gone. I know nothing, I see nothing, I hear nothing. That's what we all lived by.
Amazing.
It is.
Talk about working with the legend, Pat Kelly, and what it was like. And
well, it's funny because he is the guy who taught me how to stretch out of my comfort zone. I'd been very, like I said, very straight-laced before, and then one day he says to me, "Can you pretend to be an old-fashioned announcer from like the 40s or 50s or something like that, and introduce the news as that guy? And let's give him a name. He's Burton Wildebeest." And I go, "Okay." And I used to go, "It's time for the big news with Paraquat Kelly." Today's news today. And then he made me into a star of a soap opera we used to do called Dirt Canyon MD. And I was Dirt Canyon, where my big line was, "We're all going to die, we're all going to die." That was kind of what that was all about. Theater of the mind. And as a result, when I finally left radio, I became an actor, which is what I've been doing for the last 25 years and actually making a living at it. So I owe Paraquat everything for making Burton Wildebeest come to life and opening up a whole cast of characters for me. Yeah.
Talk about some of the other characters around the station and what special they had.
Oh, everybody was so unique and so incredibly different, and I think that's what made the station so special. We had no cookie cutter people of any kind whatsoever. Everybody was incredibly unique, and the only person I actually knew when I got there was Ace Young, because Ace and I go back long before he was ever on KMET. I was running a little radio station in Ventura, California called KUDU. And he wasn't Ace then, he was Dennis Young. And Dennis was a broadcasting student at the local college and taking courses and stuff and working as a part-time stringer newsman for our radio station. So Dennis was there, and then all of a sudden I get to KMET and he's not Dennis anymore. He's this legend called Ace Young, who I never knew was Dennis until I showed up. A very, very wonderful guy. So happy that he's able to be here with us tonight too. I love Ace. Oh my God! I mean, I don't even know where to start talking about the unique personalities, the side people. I think of Phil Gonzalez, who played the Raul, who was kind of not real but real Raul, who everybody blamed everything on. It's so good to see Phil here tonight. We had all kinds of characters like that fictional and imagined and real, all thrown into one, and that's why I'm so confused. I don't know where I am. Oh, Wild Turkey will fix that.
Well, I know we got Jeff Gonzer here, we got Cynthia Fox.
We do. Well, Jeff Gonzer, of course, a legend. Absolutely. We used to love doing the Finally a Friday shows. We started them at Gazzari's, and then we moved them over to Wolf and Rissmiller's Country Club out in the valley. And the anthem, everybody had to get up and sing "Sit on My Face and Tell Me That You Love Me" every week. And we had a girl with the cue cards who would say, "Sit on my face and tell me that you love me." And not that I would know the song or anything like that. And those were such great fun. And oh my God, Cynthia, come on, just take a look at her. Good Lord, what a beautiful woman, and more ways than one. And we had so many like that. Mary Turner, the burner, oh my God. We used to do the most fun swap-overs. If I was doing the news and I'd go into Mary and she would say that I never knew what she was going to say, ever knew what she was going to do. You had to be fast on your feet. You had to be fast on your feet. It taught me more than any previous job I'd ever had in my life of working fast and furious. Yeah.
Of course, the lonesome LA Cowboy. We got Jim Ladd.
Oh, well, yes, Jim Ladd. I mean, we don't have to talk about him. Everybody knows about him. Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the days when these DJs could actually program the music.
Well, those days are long gone. I was just talking to one of our performing artists here tonight, Dan Navarro, and we were talking about you can almost name the day that it all started to die. When the national consultants came into the companies and tried to tell them what they were doing wrong, and the suits were coming in from everywhere, and it was a terrible, terrible time, terrible time. We tried. We lasted a lot longer than theoretically we should have because of those guys, because if it was up to them, we'd have been long gone long before that, How dare you have people who have ability and have the ability to function and be creative and do, and that's unheard of. You have to follow the instructions on a piece of paper. We don't want to follow instructions. Nah. No, we don't need no education, as the song used to go. Don't need it.
Well, I know the building's no longer there. There's a high school.
Oh, I know.
You drive down
Breaks
the
my
road
heart. Every time I drive by, I remember the sculpture on the roof.
Yeah.
Most of us called it Stairway to Heaven, but I don't think that was its actual name. That thing, whatever that thing was down there, and the hallways were lined with the artwork that belonged to the guy that owned Metro Media, John Kluge, and we used to besmirch his artistic things every now and then, and we had to be very, very careful because that was treading on some very dangerous ground.
So what a great time to be coming up in LA.
Oh my God.
What do you remember the most about being kind of the voice of that generation?
It was just how the audience related to us. Oh my God, you'd go out someplace, in the old top 40 days, you'd go out and they'd go, oh man, you played Freddie Cannon, boom, boom, boom. You know, oh yeah. But I mean, these people, you actually meant something to them. You meant something in their lives, and you played songs they could relate to. And my daughter's with me tonight, and I remember she was a sub-teen during the KMET days, so she's still part of what was going on. And we used to go to the concerts and stuff, and now she's years old. And a full-blown grown adult person now, and actually an important executive at a movie studio, but we won't talk about that. But she's reliving her youth here tonight. She's just loving every second of what we're doing, and it's just great fun.
All right, on behalf of Mr. Kelly, who I was told about the situation, and it was a song I'm going to throw in here that try to take something topical and make it work. The song I don't think I've ever performed this song before, so bear with me, but I'm going to take it out here with this.